Say the Mefarshim, unbelievable. The idea of believing or not believing in God is not so intellectually difficult. When a person doesn't believe in God, it's because they don't want to. There's many things that they want to do that God being in the world precludes them from being able to do. If you don't have those negative character traits that make you want to steal, kill, maim, grab, fornicate, whatever it is, in that space, it's easy to find God. Because there's not something that's making you not want to find Him. So what makes avot? Desire. According to this Khatam Sofer, we understand everything. The Pasuk is commenting that these avot, they lived difficult lives. But somehow, even though lo nodati lahem, God doesn't always reveal His hand in your life. And if He does, you see the justice maybe, but not as much of the mercy or rahamim that you want to see. Why aren't you seeing it? How come you're not getting to experience? How come you're not getting to know that truth of God? Says the Pasuk. You don't want it enough. I read something brought down from Rav Hutner. Rav Hutner says that we know that the Torah is compared to water. Right? Says the Vilna Gaon, we've all heard this idea that Torah nimshala lamayim. We all know that. Lots of reasons why Torah is compared to water. Water flows to the lowest place. Torah goes to someone that's humble. Water only takes on the shape of the vessel that you put it in. If a person has bad midot, the Torah only accentuate their bad midot. Right? That's why you have to have derech eretz, kadma la Torah. You need to have a good midot before you study Torah. But where do we learn it from? Says the Vilna Gaon, the Pasuk says, Hoi kol tzameh lechu lamayim. Oh, all of you thirsty ones, go to the water. That's how you know that Torah is compared to water. Now listen to this. Says Rav Hutner, an unbelievable idea. He says, why is the Torah compared to water from that Pasuk that now we all say, Torah nimshala lamayim? Why did it compare it to orange juice? He says as follows, because when it comes to any other drink, when it comes to any other food, the halacha is, if you're eating it, you have to make a beracha. Torah is like water. You know why? Because water is unique. If I take a drink of water, I may not have to make a blessing. Did you know that? The only time you make a blessing on a cup of water is if you're thirsty. If you don't want to drink the water, you're just drinking it heke, you don't make a blessing. Torah is something that if you don't want it, if you're not thirsty for it, hoi kol tzameh lechu lamayim, if you're not thirsty for it, you don't make a blessing on it because you're not appreciating it, because you're not experiencing it. You know what made the avot? Because they were the three people who wanted more than anyone ever. If you want a relationship, you want to feel close to Hashem, then you will. And when you feel that way, then even when things are very difficult, and it feels like Hashem is shouting at you, Vayidaber Elohim el Moshe, how do you experience it? Vayomer elav, softly, Ani Hashem. When you're a coach on the sideline of a basketball court, and your kid's running, and you're telling him, protect the ball, shoot it. The father's yelling at the kid. But the kid knows 1,000% that all of that yelling is only so that he scores. Who has a better father? The one that has a father screaming from the side, shoot it, protect it, pass it, coaching the child with all that yelling? Or the father who couldn't be bothered to come to the basketball game at all? Hashem says to Moshe, what you think? You yelling at me? Asking me why I haven't saved the Jews? Says the pasuk, Vigam ani shamati et na'akat b'nei Israel. You think you're the only one that heard the Jews scream? Who called you? Could I get to know you? One of the challenges is, my friends, that we don't want that connection. What do you mean? Who doesn't want? You know what the answer is? We want the relationship with Hashem, but we want it on our terms. When you want a relationship with someone on your terms, you by default, by definition, do not want a relationship. When you want to be engaged or married to someone, but everything's got to be exactly the way you want it, then you don't want a relationship with them. You want someone who, on a remote control, fulfills your needs and desires. But when you want a real relationship with them, you understand that yes, I get a lot of things, but there's also a lot of things I need to give. A lot of soul searching that I have to make on myself. Whenever there's a problem, the first people we look at is the people opposite us in a relationship, in a fight, a protagonist. The other person is always the aggressor and I am the victim. Now, it's not a zero-sum game. It might be that you are the victim, but it might also be that you have some blame. You want a relationship with them? Take ownership over your own deeds. I love this idea. Gemara says that if a person does something wrong and they see Yisurim, difficult things happening to them, what should he do? Yifashvesh b'ma'asav. Two languages in Chazal. One is yifashvesh, one is yimashmesh, right? But what does it mean, lifashvesh? What does it mean, limashmesh? It means you're searching. My friends, when you search for something, you're hoping to find it. Most of us, when we have to take a reckoning over whether we've done something or not done something, we hope we won't find anything. We hope that we're guilt-free. But in a real grown-up relationship, you know that if I have responsibility here, there's probably something that I could have done a little bit better. The tzaddikim were looking, hoping to find a mistake so that they could correct it. Shemi Hashem lo nodati lahem. They did not get to see the fulfillment of my promises. But you know what kind of relationship I had with them? I had a relationship where I could tell them my name, and even if I didn't deliver, because it was not yet the time, they knew that it wasn't because I wasn't fulfilling my part of the deal. They knew I had only love and only care for them. They saw me as what I was, even without me showing it to them. And that's why I was able to not show it to them. What a level the Avot were on. They wanted the connection so much that they were willing to be able to have the simultaneous Vayidaber and the Vayomer, the Elokim and the Yud Ke Vav Ke. My friends, in every Elokim is really hiding a Yud Ke Vav Ke. In every shout, in every difficulty, in every dark day is a sunrise at the same time.